I have an icomfort Wi-Fi thermostat. Model No. 103445-04. I live in western Pennsylvania and it is set in the heat mode currently. When I set the temperature to say 65 degrees, after a short period of time, perhaps 20 minutes or half hour, it defaults to heat in 69 degrees. I turned the furnace off at the source and when it started back up the same problem occurred. I also tried setting it to the off setting with just the fan running and that seemed to work for about a half hour and again it reset to heat in 69 degrees. I have not had any previous problems with the thermostat. Also, no blinking messages or alerts are on the thermostat. The furnace and air conditioner are serviced twice a year and there are no issues. Note, I have never used the programmable feature, that is, different temperatures at different times of the day. I would appreciate your input. It is spring here and I do not need heat and 69 degrees coming on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tamar. I'm your personal HVAC/appliance expert on JustAnswer. First of all, I would like to thank you for using JustAnswer. I'm sorry to hear you're having issues with your equipment today. I know firsthand how frustrating that can be. If you give me a few moments, I will provide a response to you on your issue. Please afford me the same patience I will afford you when it comes to responding. I will do my best, am human, may be in the field, and cannot respond instantaneously.
Hello, Tamar. Nice to meet you virtually. Do you have any follow-up questions for me? Are you familiar with the icomfort thermostat that I am having issues with? Thank you in advance for your response.
Hi, yes, I do have experience with icomfort thermostats. Is it currently set up to follow a schedule?
No, it is not set up to follow any schedules.
Is the mode currently in heat or cool? Can you send a photo of the thermostat display?
Customer attachment March 27, 2021 9:10 and 5 seconds p.m. It is in heat mode. I texted you a photo.
Are you saying this number http://prntscr.com/1040 is reverting to 69? The number under set temp.
It just reverted to set temp of 69. Tamar, I just sent you another photo. Will the set number changed from my desired 64 to? Did you receive the two photos that I sent to you?
Okay. I got it. That is an odd predicament. Especially if it's not following a schedule.
It is quite odd. Apparently, there must be a default setting somewhere that it is defaulting to. And, remember, as I noted in my original question, I changed the mode to off, rather than heat or cool, and sure enough after about 1 hour, it reset or defaulted to heat in 69 degrees. I am hoping you or one of your colleagues would know a fix. Thank you, Tamar.
Have you tried cycling the breaker off and back onto the furnace/air handler? This will also reboot the thermostat.
I turned off power to the furnace and kept it off yesterday for several hours. When I turned it back on, the same problem happened. I too thought that a hard reboot would solve the problem.
Can you try disconnecting the thermostat from Wi-Fi and see if it still changes?
I am not sure I know how to disconnect it. Do you think that would be the cause? Not sure how to disconnect it. But, that only gives outside readings, etc. Would that be a cause?
It's either following a program, or the thermostat has an internal issue with the board inside of it. We need to rule out what is giving it commands, and if you use your phone with the Linux, it can transmit over Wi-Fi.
I don't know if I am comfortable with disabling the Wi-Fi. I see under settings how to do it, but I would like to see if you have another suggestion before that. It gives me warning not to disable the Wi-Fi. Also, I do not use the app on my phone for the thermostat. I know what you are talking about. So, Tamar, the ad on the internet where I found this site and registered appeared to indicate that another technician had encountered and solved this problem. Is it possible for you to reach out to other technicians and get their input? Thanks, Tamar.
I've been working with Linux and installing Linux equipment for a long time. If you don't trust my opinion, I can opt out.
Tamar, you totally misunderstood me. I trust your input and value your advice.
I'm going off what you've told me. But I'm not convinced you don't have it set to follow a programmed schedule. When you change the temperature, does it give you an option to hold the temperature?
Tamar, I have never set the programs. I like to manually adjust. None of near have been enabled. Is there a default setting that you are aware of? It definitely resets to the exact same, heat and 69. No, it does not give me an option to hold. I see a hold under program settings, but I have never used those settings.
Can you show me the spring schedule?
This is what comes up when I hit spring.
Is it 5 p.m. there? I notice the heat to setting is indeed 69.
I guess those are pre-programmed into the thermostat, but are not activated. Yeah, it is after 6 p.m. But the default to 69 and heat happened all day today and all day yesterday. So, I was working and I would set the temperature to say 65 and then about a half hour later it would default to heat and set temperature of 69. Is there a way to totally deactivate the programmed numbers? I honestly never even knew they were there.
There are 4 things that can change the temp. 1 is a followed schedule, 2 is direct input from you, 3 is from your app on the phone, 4 would be an internal issue with the thermostat. It must not be set to follow a program, because if it were you would get the option to hold the set point change after you set the temp. This rules out the programmed schedule. This is what you would see if it were on a program: http://prntscr.com/10xkdvm.
Okay. All very good information. You are thoughtful and I appreciate it. Always use direct input and have never seen a hold option. So no app on my phone. Hope it is not an internal issue. That sounds like a new thermostat and very expensive. Have you seen thermostats have internal issues? Can they be repaired? Thanks.
Generally, if a thermostat has an internal issue, it cannot be repaired. Software issues can be repaired by rebooting or updating the firmware of the thermostat. If you are connected to Wi-Fi, the thermostat should auto-update.
Tamar, so do you think I have an internal problem with the thermostat? I've always had it connected to the Wi-Fi, so I guess it has been updating as it should be. I rebooted it and that didn't help. And even when I turned it to off mode, it still defaulted in about an hour to 69 in heat. I really appreciate your input. What would you do if you were in my situation now? Are there ways to get these thermostats, or do I just need to call the dealer? I appreciate your input.
The only thing left would be to disconnect the Wi-Fi and see if there's any possible way an input is coming through. If not, the thermostat does have an internal issue. These thermostats have a 5-year warranty from Lennox. Please let me know if you have further questions or concerns.
Mine is older than 5 years. Do you have any idea of fair price to replace the icomfort thermostat?
You can get a new Lennox Comfort Sense for around $200, $300. The labor to install it will depends on the tech. It's a 30-minute job.
Thank you so much. You aren't in Pittsburgh, by chance? I would be happy to have you do the install. You have done a very nice job for me.
Sorry, unfortunately, I am not located anywhere near Pittsburgh.
Thank you again for your assistance. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.